that's the advantage of a rifle like the 348. It hits pretty hard. Okay, now we got a lot of work.
Hey, Sonny?
Yep.
We're having lunch before we get started. It's about 2 o'clock. That's squeezable cheese we bought in Alaska.
Well, come along, getting them to a little better position for us. Look at that. Bob. Thank you, Bob. Good job. I hate to say it, but this knife, $25 at the Whitehorse gun show, is an old Uncle Henry. I love this knife. I've tried all my other knives. I keep coming back to this knife. It's thin. You need a thin knife to do this kind of work, not a thick knife. Thank you.
I just filleted the ribs.
Hey YouTube, I'm in between cleaning stints here. I'm going to start cleaning moose meat pretty soon. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the tools I use, some of the misses and hits. So for knives, I tried out this. I got it on a really good sale of a company going out of business today in Whitehorse, and it's the Grohmann. I think they call this the deer and moose knife. Please don't bother buying a knife like that. It's big, it's clumsy, it's too thick. I really didn't enjoy using this knife, and I put it away as fast as I could. So I'll probably be putting this one up for sale. Please don't buy this if you know me. Cutco. I've read a lot about these Cutcos, and I've got a nephew selling them. It's got a nice grippy handle, good grip, really good grip, one of the best grips I've ever seen. It's thin, so I like the thinness. I just can't quite fall in love with the serrations. Even those double D serrations are fairly thin, and they don't catch as bad as a bigger serration like Spyderco serrations. It still doesn't cut as smooth as a well sharpened straight knife, and maybe it's because I can sharpen. My dad taught me to sharpen a long time ago. I can take all the hair off my arms with any of the knives that I use, and with some of the machines you can buy, you can sharpen really well. I don't think there's any need for that, so that's a miss for me, reluctantly. Ken Onion Skinner, I'd give this a good solid B. D2 steel, keeps a good edge. It's got a nice point, and I like using the point and gutless skinning. And that's a knife I'll use again. Good distal taper so that it's thin at the very edge. That was a useful shape. Surprisingly nice knife. My son used this little knife. This is a Grohmann Hunter. It's got a third blade. Let's see if I can do this without cutting myself on YouTube. It's got double strong springs, and this is the gutting knife. This is the regular knife, and this is a bone saw. It's a good knife. It's much too small for a moose. This is not big enough for a moose. Also, this type of European gutting hook is really good for small animals like deer that are loosely attached, thin skin. You're not going to be able to get that under a moose's hide. Won't work. Does not work. The star, the absolute star of this, was this old Schrade made in the United States, Old Henry or Uncle Henry knife. It's like a big version of the Trapper. It's got two blades. This was outstanding. The blades are thin. It's would really work well. I like having the two blades. When one gets a little dull, you start the other one. After a couple hours, you're ready for a rest anyway. You just sharpen it up and you're ready to go again. So if you can sharpen a knife like that, that's not super, it's stainless, but it's not a super exotic stainless, keeps a good edge, not a great edge, but the shape of it, beautiful. This is my go-to knife from here on in for everything. I love this knife. This was just a pleasure to use. Sometimes the old stuff is best. Saws, couldn't couldn't find this at first. Finally found it. This little bone saw by Gerber. I used it to remove the backstrap ribs, the ribs over the backstraps, and I got right to it. 10 seconds. It was fantastic. It's a little small for some of your bigger stuff. So I also brought Bob Dustrud. Bob Dustrud is a 30-inch. I still have to wash him up. Bow saw, basically. Very light. Has this big 30-inch blade. Head was off in 10 seconds, honest to God. And it also did a really, really good job of cleaning up the lower legs. Real time saver and light. I used to use an axe. I'm not using an axe anymore. This is my Transfers Brux. If it's a good enough axe that it has a good temper, you're gonna damage the. You're gonna get micro fracturing when you go after bone, which isn't nice for your equipment. And you also leave jagged edges no matter how good you are. And with a good saw, you're so fast and so clean. I've converted to a sawman for my use. So that was a little bit about the tools we used for cleaning. A lot of fun. Thanks for watching.